Well, you can smell the spring in the air. It's the Spring Carnival of Greyhound Racing, and we head to Geelong this Friday night for the Beckley Centre Geelong Gold Cup. George Farrugia here to preview the race. And George, the Geelong Cup, it sort of starts off the carnival, the Top Gun, the Melbourne Cup to follow, but Geelong Cup always extremely strong.
It's been a good form line, hasn't it, leading into the big races at Sandown Park, that's for sure. And we've got a cracking race here, including a budding superstar, or probably a dog that's already a superstar, in Hooked on Scotch. Where will he position early? That's the big question, I reckon.
It is the big question. It's a race that the Stars have won in the past. Black Magic Opal smashed the track record winning this race around about 5 or 6 years ago. Might have been a shade longer now. The time flies when you're having fun. Let's take a look at the box draw now for the Geelong Cup, starting with box 1, Viva Tar. I think the big guns in the race, Hooked on Scotch drawing 3. He's currently around the $2.40. Peter Gallo, the star chaser, drawn 5. And down the bottom, I think Run and Royalty's drawn beautifully in box number 8 around that $4.60 mark. Reserves Blue Striker and Wilbur Deeds. We'll start from the top and make our way through the field. What did you make of the Viva Tar clash up first?
Yeah, look, he went really well. There's a lot on offer for him. He took out the Geelong Derby as well. So if he wins this, he gets a $10,000 bonus on top of the $47,000 for the Geelong Cup. He's got lots of speed, this greyhound. Can be hit or miss early. That's the trouble, I reckon.
He does like to get down to the rails, so I think box number 1's going to play to his advantage. And as we saw in the replay, he outpaced Peter Gallo, who just got crowded up in that run. But what I liked about Peter Gallo, he got to the outside, he finished off, he still went 25.87, and he had to have lost 4 or 5 in the run.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a really big run. I'm not sure about Viva Tar in the top 4 because I think the pressure will be on nice and early.
I agree. Snags McKenzie was finishing up second behind Run and Royalty. Of course, Snags McKenzie jumped from box 2, Run and Royalty from 4. What did you make of this clash? I thought Run and Royalty was impressive because his sections were good. He looks like he'll do the same in the final.
Best sections all day, and that's the important part. He's drawn well. Snags McKenzie's drawn well too. I think he's desperate for the fence. His form leading into this, James, has been really good. 29.94 at the Meadows, certainly no slouch. He's drawn okay. I think he should get a little bit of room from Hooked on Scotch too.
Yeah, and he went 25.58 in a personal best at Geelong, and he, of course, went 25.53 running second in the heat. Moving along, Hooked on Scotch. All eyes will be on this greyhound. It's just so hard to believe he's only had 11 starts. We feel like he's just a name that you must know in greyhound racing. He's won an Adelaide Cup. He's dominated the match racing. Here he is at Geelong, and look, it was a big effort to win in the heat, as we see here, George, but he is that greyhound that over 460, he's going to rely on luck. Yeah, look, we keep talking about that Adelaide Cup win because I think the degree of difficulty is a 10. I mean, to run down those 2 bona fide stars, this is a different kind of difficult, if that makes sense, because there's a little bit more speed in the race. It's a one-turn track, and we've seen what happened in the heat where he just got held up a little bit early. Where is he going to situate early? Because if he begins cleanly and sits in the first 3, well, it'll be game, set, match. Yeah. Well, you look at his personal best, 25.34 nowadays. They very, very rarely run anything like that, but you'd expect he'll come from the back. The next we have a look at, Slingshot Hammer, winning from box 8, went 25.64, defeating Riley's Page. Thought Riley's Page did everything right, showed good pace, but Slingshot Hammer just got around at the right time. And look, they're going to find it tough come Friday night.
Look, the heat was on in that heat, and look, Slingshot Hammer was fantastic. I really like the way this greyhound's racing, and I think if he can begin cleanly, he's racing with a lot of confidence. His heat time was good. Be very interesting to see where he positions up. There's a lot of pace on his outside.
He does seem to be showing more pace of late. The last one we want to touch on is Last Hurrah. It's fitting that we touch on him last, jumping from box number 6. Look, he probably won one of the easier heats of the Geelong Cup, I think it's fair to say. He went 25.85. He did that from box number 8. You would think he's going to have to sharpen his time up a fair bit to be competitive.
Yeah, look, he's been a really consistent greyhound, and good luck to Matt Nash. This is his first group finalist as a trainer, so good luck to Matt. Yeah, look, he's probably up against it. I don't think the box draw's done him any favours either.
Yeah, well, I think 5 of the 8 are local trained greyhound. So he being one of them has had 4 starts at the track for 3 wins. Well, we've had a look at every single runner in the Geelong Gold Cup. It's now time for a winner in the Geelong Gold Cup, and I'll pass it to you, George. Similar numbers, I think, this year.
Yeah, look, 8, 3, 4 and 2 are my numbers. I've gone Run and Royalty on top. His splits last week were outstanding. His record from box 8 is not just sound. ground, but it's very, very good. And I think he's just racing at his peak now. He nearly ran a PB and the track was wet last week. He can probably get into the 25-30s, which he might need to. I put him on top to beat Hooked on Scotch. He's just such an enigma, but when he gets things right, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we just haven't seen a greyhound like him in a long time. I really like Slingshot Hammer's recent form. I think he's racing with confidence, and I've thrown in number 2, Snags Mackenzie, who I think he's drawn well, racing well. I really like that win at the Meadows a couple of starts back. So 8, 3, 4 and 2.
Third time lucky, George. I'm almost exactly the same. I'm going 8, 3, 5 and 2, and as you touched on, Run and Royalty just looks the speed in the race. I think the only way he doesn't lead is if Vivatar pings the start. So based on that, I'm going 8 on top, Run and Royalty, to whip around the field and be too good. 3 Hooked on Scotch. Well, if he gets close, he's clearly the greyhound to beat, but would you be taking him around the $2.40 knowing that you are going to need luck? That was the question mark. I've gone 5 Peter Gallo for third. I thought he'll improve on that run in the heat. Was a good effort. And number 2, Snags Mackenzie to fill the top 4. I'll start with the $20 spend, and I like to keep it simple. I think there's good value each way, Run and Royalty around the $4.60, so I'll have $10 each way. And George, I know you like your exotics. What are you going to play?
Yeah, I'm going to do one of your specials at box trifecta here, 2, 3, 4 and 8. I think we can box those up and be pretty confident we can get the try.
Yeah, it's been a good race, the Geelong Cup, and this year will be no exception. How do we get to Geelong and what time do the gates open? Free entry, of course.
Yeah, free entry, gates open at 6 o'clock. First race around 7. Lots of entertainment, James.
Yeah, there is. I've been told it's a stack of entertainment, including a great family atmosphere with face painting, jumping castles, live music for the adults, and of course punting, beers, everything. It's got it all, the Beckley Centre Geelong Gold Cup this year. Make sure you tune in, get to the track on Friday. It's sure to be a ripper.